So, how old were you when you discovered that you actually had heavy metal poisoning?
I was in my 30s, my early 30s at that time. And I had a healthy childhood. I
Hmm.
grew up in a family that home cooked meals, and you know, so I really never experienced bad health until that moment.
Wow.
So it kind of hit me over the head. Whereas I would say today, that's not as much of the case. People start with kind of where I started, just fatigue, need more stimulate to the day. Doesn't everyone experience? I didn't sleep as well. We have a lot of reasons. I need to exercise more, right? That's kind of what people say. And then the brain fog, it's like, gosh, I can't think of things the way I used to think of things. I can't even
Mhm.
read and understand anymore. I can't pay attention. And then it goes to the anxiety, where it's like you have anxiety without worry, or you find yourself worrying over stuff you would never have worried about. Then you find yourself not sleeping well, right? Even if you do manage to sleep through the night, it feels like you didn't, or you wake up in the middle of the night, can't get back to sleep. So, there's all these little symptoms that kind of creep up on us. And they're signs of neurotoxic illness. They're signs of something getting much worse. The thing I love to explain, we all have a bucket. I call it a stress bucket. Genetically, some of us have bigger, some of us have small. Okay, I have a small one. Okay, so my stress bucket, not so good. But the fact is, I do very well with emotional stress, but I don't do well with toxic stress. But once that bucket fills, and where does it start filling? In utero. Remember, it's not just the lead, it's other things that we get from mom and dad. And it fills up to one day it overflows. And that's when the symptoms start. That's when we go, what happened? Right? Or that's when we start medicating things away, symptoms away, or maybe that's when we start looking at different supplements or diets. The point I want to make is unless you empty that bucket, you're just chasing symptoms, either with natural things, different diets, but you have to get to what's in that bucket. Yes, physical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress fill it. But some of the emotional stressors and physical stressors we can't do anything about, but we can do something about the massive amount of neurotoxins that fill that stress bucket.
So, how did you empty that bucket? How did you even discover where to go?
I started this by saying in our space, there's a lot of myths about detox. And so let's start there. A myth about detox is you can just sit into a sauna and get rid of these toxins. I love saunas, nothing against them. But it's not where real detox is. Real detox is a cellular issue. If you look up what a cell does every day, it's getting rid of toxins, and it has all these functions to do that. The reason is because in the cell, we make energy day in, day out. If you burn wood in a fireplace, you make energy, feel the heat. But if your damper's not open, smoke backs up into the house, and that's how you die. So you have to have the damper open. Think of that as the cell's ability to get rid of the smoke or the toxins when it's making energy. So when that cell gets overwhelmed, the detox pathways, they're not working the way they should. And so now it starts accumulating toxins. The problem with that is all the pathways that normally are utilized to get rid of the toxins, they start getting worse and worse and worse. So you can do all of these things that we call detox, but unless you fix those pathways, then you haven't really fixed the problem. My 5 R's is a roadmap that I started teaching doctors of how to fix those cell pathways that are so compromised with this epidemic of toxins. And it caught on in the public. And just to I don't want to bore people with the science, but our number one is you have to evaluate your life for sources. You have to remove the sources. And we talked about some of those, and there's more. But our number two is you have to regenerate those cell membranes. The membrane acts as the gatekeeper of what comes in and what comes out. And remember, I said the thing that inflames those membranes and blunts the hormone receptors, toxins, number one. And so we have to regenerate those membranes. R3 is you have to restore the cell energy. I teach a lot of different methodologies to do that. You need cell energy to detox the cell. You need cell energy for every function of the cell. And it's a cornerstone of what I teach. R4 is you have to reduce the inflammation of the cell. And that's a lot of different pathways that we utilized to do that. And R5 is reestablish something called methylation. Methylation is how your body gets rid of toxins. How it gets rid of it, how it regulates stress, and even how your body gets rid of toxic hormones. But those pathways, I teach how to reestablish them to get that cell working again. And then we open up downstream detox pathways. We use chelators correctly. And so there's a big process there that I've taught for you.